Hey guys, this is Brandon over at Colton RV, one of the parts specialists. Today I wanted to go over a little bit about driving in not ideal weather, like your rain, your snow, your heavy wind. Actually good timing because it is starting to rain outside, so I thought we would go for a little bit of a drive and talk a little bit about that. So let's get to it. In light rainstorms like what we're kind of experiencing right now, don't really have to worry too much about it. Just make sure that your windshield wipers are all up to date and all that sort of stuff, just like general maintenance. But if you start to hit some heavy rainstorms for both towing and driving a motorhome, main thing you gotta keep in mind is that you have to increase your stopping distance. With increased stopping distance, you don't really have to worry about slamming on your brakes or anything like that. If there's a car in front of you, you don't have to worry about them being in danger because of the amount of weight that you're carrying. Another thing that a lot of people are concerned about when it's raining outside, even with like driving a regular vehicle, that would just be hydroplaning. When you're towing a trailer, you kind of have to be a little bit more cautious of hydroplaning because not only you're hydroplaning with your vehicle, you're hydroplaning with the trailer as well. That can kind of be mitigated by just kind of activating your brakes on your brake controller. And what that does is that'll activate the brakes on your actual trailer, which means you'll get pulled back a little bit and set you straight in line. You don't really have to worry too much about hydroplaning while you're driving with a motorhome. The increased weight that you're kind of just holding down onto the ground means you're less likely to hydroplane, but in the unfortunate times that it does happen, it's the same things with driving a regular vehicle. Just keep your hands on the steering wheel, slowly take your foot off the accelerator and just slowly put it right back onto the brake and get yourself all leveled out. Next thing I want to talk about a little bit is high winds, and I'm not talking like 5-10 miles an hour, I'm talking like 25-30 miles an hour. When you're towing a trailer, that can induce a whole bunch of sway on your trailer, which can be mitigated, of course, with like sway protection from Blue Ox. If you're driving around without weight distribution, one thing that you can do to help mitigate the weight is empty out all of your tanks, your fresh, your black, and your gray, and then as well as kind of distribute all your cargo along the floor of your trailer. When you're driving a motorhome, you'll feel a whole bunch of force on the side of your vehicle. It's kind of the same as when you're driving a regular car, but since the surface area of the side of it's quite a bit larger, you'll get pushed around a lot more. Another thing that can protect against that would be some sort of steering stabilizer like the Safety Plus. If you're driving around in a motorhome, just keep in mind wind speeds of gusts up to like 45 miles an hour. It's typically recommended to pull over and just wait for the winds to subside. At that point, that's so much surface area getting blown over that there is a chance that you can get toppled over. So just keep that in mind when you're driving around. Last thing I want to talk about a little bit is driving around in snowstorms. If it's a larger snowstorm or it's expected a couple inches of snowfall, it's kind of recommended to kind of wait it out, like pull over to the side of the road or find a nice rest stop to camp out in for a little bit. If it's like a smaller snowfall, just keep in mind that your stopping distance has to be increased a little bit because you have a lot of weight that you have to stop in on, and that's for all three travel trailers, fifth wheels, and motorhomes. Alrighty, so we just pulled back into the dealership. It actually just stopped raining outside, which is nice. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys have any questions, whether you're a new RVer or just wanting to learn something new, just leave them down in the comments. Alright, thanks.